while most of us have spent the past 2 years on the couch, one remarkable Aussie has been on the journey of a lifetime, trekking across Australia with 5 camels.
So in April last year, Sophie Madison set off on foot with her camel train from Shark Bay in WA. She crossed the Great Victoria Desert, stopping by Cooper Pedy, the Flinders Ranges and Cameron's Corner. Then it was onto the Queensland-New South Wales border, bound for Australia's most easterly point, Byron Bay. And Sophie and her camels are now just 36 kilometres from the finishing line in Eltham in northern New South Wales.
It looks so easy. It looks so easy.
I know. Simple little stroll across the country. Sophie, so lovely to see you. So
Hello, good morning.
You're nearly there, 36 k's away from the finishing line. How are you feeling?
Oh yeah, it's so close. Not many more days of walking now. It feels like so long ago that I started in Shark Bay, so it's strange thinking that I'm almost near the end of the trip.
How do you even work out how to do it? And most importantly, why?
Oh, everybody asks the question why.
Yeah.
I started working with camels in 2016, and I just thought they were such intelligent and interesting animals, and it just just developed this love and fascination for camels. And I was always a big traveller, and I love travelling and adventure, and I guess it was a bit of a way of combining the two, and just an excuse to go on a big adventure.
So you've had a very different 2 years to the rest of us.
Yeah.
And what's quite interesting, you've sort of been crossing states as we've had border closures and COVID. Have you stayed across what's been going on, and has that been a drama crossing between states and territories?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I would duck in and out of reception, so I'd hear, bits of news here and there. But I got amazingly lucky. I actually trucked the camels over to Western Australia just as COVID was kind of kicking off, really, I guess. And so I actually got locked into the state, which worked out perfectly. If I'd been a week later starting my trip, I wouldn't have even been able to begin. So I've been very lucky, and just luck has followed me the whole way across. Every time I've crossed a state border, it's been open in the direction I've been travelling. So yeah, we've been very lucky, and face masks and border restrictions and all of that is very unfamiliar for us.
Look, it's your camels, Lila, Jude, Charlie, Clayton and Mac, they've been your main companions. What has their company been like, and has there been anything particularly memorable about each of them?
Yeah, it's kind of like travelling with, I guess, 5 big kids in the back of a car. You who are always asking, are we going to be there yet? So, yeah, and then sometimes, I turn around in the car and I'm like, Jude, stop picking on your brother Clayton. And, I've warned Jude if he doesn't behave, he won't get to go to Byron Bay. So, yeah, it's kind of like carting kids across the country, I guess. But generally, they're very well behaved, and they're doing amazingly well. These camels came out of the wild 2.5 years ago, so from roaming around the deserts in the wild to all of a sudden being in the suburbs of Byron Bay is pretty incredible for them.
And I love, as you say, that they came out of the wild. You actually trained them yourself ahead of this really big journey. But there was a moment, I believe, where you're in the desert and got quite hairy when the camels ran off.
Yeah, that was definitely a low moment. So I was maybe about 2 months in, and it was a bit of a wake-up call, really, because I sort of thought, well, the great thing about camels is that they carry all your gear. So I won't carry anything on me, like I'll put the sat phone in a bag on their backs. I'll put the EPIRB away. The camels will carry my water. And then when Jude actually spooked at a cow and took off on me, and I watched the whole string of camels just take off with every one of my possessions that I needed to survive, taking off on their backs. So it involved a fair bit of running and a lot of stressing, and I was very, very lucky to get them back. And it was a bit of a wake-up call, really, before we hit the very, very remote stretches of the desert. And now I carry a lot more safety equipment on me just in case that happens again. But they've been pretty good ever since. But yeah, there's things like that are pretty scary when you're out there on your own.
Gee whiz, that's a lot, isn't it? And now, how are you feeling about arriving in Byron Bay? You've done it, and this is an extraordinary feat.
Oh, we haven't done it yet. We've still got about 5 more days of walking, so don't jinx us. But no, I'm pretty excited to reach Byron, and I just want to turn around and explore the deserts again, really.
What? What is the desert like?
Oh, I mean, they're fantastic. I think a lot of Australians don't realise what magnificent special deserts we have, and they're so varied, and the landscape within them changes. Even walking across the Great Victoria Desert, you know, I watch the landscape change before my eyes. So a lot of people think the bush is often just, you know, the same bland, you know, nothing happening in the outback kind of thing. But no, it's so far from the truth. There's such a change in the landscape, and I think we're really I think it's so special that we have areas like that in Australia where you can be somewhere and you can see 360 degrees around you, and there's just not a single sign of humans around. So yeah, you can be hundreds of kilometres away from anyone out there.
Do you prefer the company of the spitting hoiking camels?
They're pretty good company. They're pretty good company. Yeah, I love them.
Hey, well done, well done. It's a great achievement, and please, we'll be keeping track of you as you near the end of your journey in 5 days' time. But well done. What a terrific adventure. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful
Thank
pictures
you.
too.
Aren't they?